Rainforest Café. The name alone conjured up images of exotic adventure, of escaping the mundane and stepping into a world of lush greenery and roaring waterfalls. It was a place where the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary, where every corner promised a new discovery. It was an escape, a fantasy realized in animatronic gorillas and mist-shrouded temples. The ambiance was meticulously crafted to transport diners to a far-off jungle, complete with the sounds and sights of a thriving rainforest. The brainchild of Steven Schussler, Rainforest Café wasn't just a restaurant, it was an experience. Schussler envisioned a place where dining was more than just eating. It was an adventure, a journey into the heart of the rainforest. It targeted families, tourists, anyone yearning for a break from the ordinary. The restaurant became a haven for those seeking a unique dining experience, a place where both young and old could marvel at the wonders of the jungle. And for a while, it worked. The allure of the Rainforest Café was undeniable, drawing in crowds who were eager to be part of this immersive experience. People lined up, eager to explore this manufactured jungle, to dine under a canopy of artificial stars. The atmosphere was enchanting, a perfect blend of nature and fantasy that captivated the imagination. It was a novel idea, a feast for the senses, and it resonated. The vibrant colors, the sounds of wildlife, and the intricate decor all combined to create an unforgettable dining experience. Rainforest Café opened its first location in 1994 at the Mall of America. This flagship location set the stage for what would become a beloved chain of themed restaurants. The concept was an instant success. People flocked to the restaurant, eager to experience the magic of dining in a simulated rainforest. Diners were wowed by the immersive experience. The attention to detail, from the animatronic animals to the simulated weather events, made every visit a memorable adventure. The restaurants featured simulated thunderstorms, animatronic animals, and elaborate rainforest decor. Each element was designed to enhance the feeling of being in a real rainforest, making the dining experience truly unique. The success of the first location led to rapid expansion. New locations began to pop up across the country, each one bringing the magic of the rainforest to a new audience. Rainforest Café quickly became a national chain. Its popularity soared as more and more people discovered the joy of dining in this unique environment. It expanded internationally as well. The allure of the Rainforest Café was not limited to the United States. It captivated diners around the world. At its peak, Rainforest Café had 59 locations worldwide. Each one offered the same enchanting experience, making it a global phenomenon. The chain's popularity was a testament to its unique concept and immersive atmosphere. It stood out in a crowded market, offering something truly different. People were captivated by the idea of dining in a rainforest. The combination of good food, entertainment, and an unforgettable atmosphere made Rainforest Café a beloved destination for many. But paradise, even a manufactured one, comes at a price. The allure of an exotic dining experience is undeniable, but it comes with its own set of challenges. Schussler's vision was grand, ambitious, and it demanded a high cost of entry. The initial investment was just the beginning. Animatronic creatures don't maintain themselves. They require regular maintenance and occasional repairs to keep the magic alive. Lush, tropical plants need constant care. They must be watered, pruned, and kept healthy to maintain the illusion of a thriving rainforest. And prime locations, those coveted spots in bustling malls and tourist traps, don't come cheap. The rent alone can be astronomical. This was a business model built on a foundation of high risk, high reward. Every decision carried significant financial implications. The initial success seemed to justify the gamble. Crowds flocked to experience the unique atmosphere and immersive environment. People were willing to pay a premium for the experience. The novelty and excitement drew in customers willing to spend. But what happens when the novelty fades? When the initial excitement wears off and the crowds begin to dwindle? When the animatronic parrot's squawk loses its charm? The once enchanting elements can become mundane? When the rainforest, no matter how meticulously crafted, begins to feel a bit too familiar? The magic can start to fade. Maintaining the restaurants was a logistical nightmare. The complexity of the setup required constant attention and resources. The animatronics were prone to breakdowns. Each malfunction meant additional costs and potential downtime. Live animals required specialized care. Their well-being was paramount, adding another layer of complexity and expense. The elaborate sets demanded constant upkeep. Every detail had to be perfect to maintain the immersive experience. The high costs cut into Rainforest Café's profitability. Despite the strong revenue, the expenses were overwhelming. The company struggled to generate consistent profits despite strong revenue. The financial strain was a constant challenge. This financial strain began to show, like cracks in a temple facade. The once grand vision started to reveal its vulnerabilities. Restaurants thrive on repeat business. The local diner, the familiar pizza joint, they rely on the comfort of familiarity, the allure of consistency. Rainforest Café, however, banked on novelty. It was the place you went for a birthday, for a special occasion, for the sheer experience of it. But how many times can you marvel at the same mechanical elephant? How many times can you order the rainforest burger before the rainforest itself starts to feel like a gilded cage? The answer, it turned out, was not enough. The restaurant's menu was another weakness. The food was overpriced and mediocre. Critics and customers alike often complained about the quality of the food. The menu was also largely forgettable. It lacked signature dishes that would keep customers coming back. Without a compelling culinary draw, people moved on, seeking their thrills and their meals elsewhere. Compare Rainforest Café to its themed brethren, the Hard Rock Café. The Hard Rock Café, with its unmistakable logo and extensive collection of rock and roll memorabilia, managed to transcend the limitations of its theme. The Hard Rock Café became more than just a restaurant. It evolved into a brand that was instantly recognizable. It wasn't just about the food, it was about a lifestyle, a culture, and an experience that people wanted to be a part of. Patrons didn't just dine there, they bought into the brand, purchasing merchandise and memorabilia that allowed them to take a piece of that experience home. Rainforest Café? Not so much. It tried, of course, to create a similar impact. There were attempts to create a cast of mascot characters, the Wild Bunch, but they never quite caught on. The characters lacked the charisma and appeal needed to become iconic. The merchandise was there, keychains, t-shirts, the usual suspects, but it lacked the must-have appeal of its competitors. The items often ended up collecting dust on the shelves. Rainforest Café remained a place you visited, not a brand you embraced. It was more of a one-time experience rather than a lifestyle choice. The restaurant's marketing efforts were also lackluster. They failed to create engaging content that resonated with their audience. It failed to create a strong brand identity or establish a loyal customer base. The lack of a compelling narrative made it difficult for customers to form a lasting connection. Unlike other themed restaurants that successfully capitalized on their themes, Rainforest Café struggled to connect with consumers on a deeper level. It missed the opportunity to become a beloved brand. Section 5. The Rainforest's Fade, an outdated theme in a changing world. The 1990s, the decade that birthed Rainforest Café, were a different time. Environmentalism, while always present, was experiencing a surge in popular culture. The rainforest, with its exotic allure and its message of conservation, was ripe for exploitation. But times change. The rainforest, while still a critical concern, faded from the forefront of public consciousness. Other, more pressing issues emerged. Meanwhile, Rainforest Café remained trapped in its own amber. The animatronics aged, the rainforest theme felt increasingly kitsch, a relic of a bygone era. The restaurant became a victim of its own success, unable to adapt to the shifting winds of consumer taste. Section 6. A New Dawn, a Different Jungle, the Landry's acquisition. By the early 2000s, Rainforest Café was facing serious financial difficulties. The company's stock price had plummeted. Several locations had been forced to close. Enter Tilman Fertitta, the man behind Landry's, a hospitality empire built on seafood restaurants and entertainment venues. In 2000, Landry's acquired Rainforest Café. The acquisition was seen as a lifeline for the struggling chain. Fertitta, known for his ruthless business acumen, saw potential in the brand, or at least in its real estate portfolio. Changes were made, some subtle, some not. The live birds, a source of both delight and ethical debate, disappeared. Menus were tweaked, costs were cut. The rainforest remained, but the soul, the original vision, felt increasingly diluted. Section 7. The storm hits, COVID-19, and the final blow. The COVID-19 pandemic was a Category 5 hurricane that devastated the restaurant industry. Lockdowns forced closures, social distancing measures decimated capacity. For themed restaurants already struggling to stay afloat, the pandemic was a death knell. Rainforest Café, despite Landry's attempts to keep it alive, was no exception. Locations shuttered, some temporarily, some permanently. The pandemic merely accelerated a decline that was already in motion. It exposed the inherent weakness of a business model that relied on crowds, on tourism, on a time when gathering together in a manufactured jungle seemed like a good idea. Section 8. Ghosts of the Rainforest: Nostalgia and Decline. Today, Rainforest Café exists as a shadow of its former self. A handful of locations remain, scattered across the country, clinging to life in tourist traps and deserted malls. Scroll through online reviews, and you'll find a mix of nostalgia and disappointment. Memories of childhood visits, of marveling at the animatronics, are tinged with sadness at the decline. Broken down creatures, faded foliage, a pervasive sense of neglect hang over these once vibrant spaces. The rainforest still stands, but the magic has faded, the animals have gone silent, and the jungle drums beat a slow, mournful rhythm. Section 9. Lessons from the Jungle: The Fall of Rainforest Café. The decline of Rainforest Café is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most immersive experiences can lose their luster. It's a story about the perils of high operating costs, of weak branding, of failing to adapt to changing times. It's a reminder that novelty, while initially alluring, is a fickle mistress. To survive in the cutthroat world of restaurants, you need more than just a gimmick. You need good food, you need a strong brand, and you need to evolve. Rainforest Café failed to do these things, and the jungle, once so full of life, slowly succumbed to the inevitable creep of the vine.